All right, we are live. Live. Okay, I was making sure the audio worked. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another market open. Let me tweet this out. Let people know that I'm alive. We are back to red because the market is, it's red. So that's that. Live market open. Guys, Joel, Richard, Uriel, what's up? Hello. Happy Friday, quadruple witching day, right? It's going to be an interesting day. All right, so let's look at what we've got. If things are really bad, today may just be a day to buy if it's that bad. We're going to see. SoFi down in the pre-markets. Palantir down in the pre-markets. Look at all this red. Adobe. Look at Adobe. Adobe lost like $25 billion of its market cap for paying $20 billion for Figma. I mean, that's a hell of a move by the market to just go there. Tesla down below 300. Apple, wow, everything is red today. Oh my. Today may be the day to buy. Today may be the day to really load up a little bit. Spotify about to be under 100. Netflix 230. TQQQ at 24. Huh. Things are bad. I'm still trying to wake up watching with one eye open. I'm going to make an Arapanos today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to rap again. Admit I am starting to lose hope on my wish bet. I need some words of encouragement. I would ride it out, Jay Schwat. I would ride it out till the end because wish might end up being the sleeper, you know? Envy's at 312. I know Freelance Finance. They're a good channel on YouTube. They're really bullish on Enphase. I don't know if they sold or not, but it says 70 on the RSIs. So it's probably, but look, it was above 70 on the RSIs when it was at 183 as well. So, you know, it's continuing to keep going. Juan, what's up? I just realized that you might be going for the Alex Carp hairstyle. That's dedication. It just happens, man. It just happens. Road wish from $12 to $5 and never looked back. Today's a buying day. Small cap growth tech. Yeah, I think I might. It depends how bad it gets. Where's Facebook? Where's Facebook and Google? Google 102. Oh boy, Google 102. I like Google that low. S&P below. Wow. Hold on. S&P's at 383. Oh my gosh. That's a big drop. That means we are we're close to 370. We're about 45 seconds away from market open. Oh my. Yeah, I mean, if we hit 370 on the S&Ps, that's a little bit more of a telling sign that things are going to start to go more south. If we can get past that 2022 low, though, that's when I start buying. That's when I really start buying. I think the stocks I really want to buy right now are Google, Facebook, DNA, SoFi, obviously more Palantir, and then maybe some sleepers. Like if Snapchat gets like $6, you might as well load up a little bit of Snapchat, right? All right. For anyone who's not awake, including me, we have 10 seconds until I guarantee that you become awake. Because the stock market, September 16, 2022, is now open. Wake your ass up. The stock market is now open. Let's look at what we've got. We've got ARC at 43. We've got AMD at 75. Meta, look at Meta hitting new all-time lows. 52-week lows every single day. S&P 384. Google 101. If we go below we're at a new 52-week low. We did it. Google hit the new 52-week low. Boom. It's done. Please get a new bell, man. Chris, I don't appreciate you hitting on my bell. I really don't. Wow. This is actually, I like this blood in the street. We all expected this blood in the street to happen. So FedEx numbers already confirmed. Yeah, Chris, I'm so happy you brought that up because I was reading about this last night. We need to talk about FedEx. Okay. FedEx is down 22% on top of being down 17% yesterday in after hours. So FedEx went from like 203 to 170 in after hours, and now they're down to 155. Now, why is this happening? Let's talk about why this is happening right now, because it's not good. So here we go. Here's the article. This is actually I think this is probably FedEx is probably a catalyst today for this horrible market. Honestly, I love this though. We all knew the blood was coming. If you got dry powder, you should be loving this. There should be no pain right now. FedEx CEO says he expects the economy to enter a worldwide recession. This was updated yesterday, okay? FedEx CEO Raj Subramaniam told CNBC's Jim Cramer on Thursday he believes a recession is impending for the global economy. The CEO's pessimism came after FedEx missed estimates on revenue and earnings in its first quarter. The company also withdrew its first year guidance. So let's see this. And we'll watch the video later. I'm very disappointed in the results that we just announced here, and the headline really is the macro situation that we're facing. Week over week that came down. We're seeing that volume decline in every segment around the world. And so, we've just started our second quarter. The weekly numbers are not looking so good. So we just assume that at this point, the economic conditions are not really good. We are a reflection of everybody else's business, especially the high value economy that he later added. I want to see if I can get the actual numbers for their earnings. Let me pull those up real quick. You guys can see this, right? Yeah. As you see, there's the chart. There's that decline. You see that right there? That big drop right there on September 16th or 15th. Okay, so non-GAAP earnings $3.44. Wall Street estimated $5. Their non-earnings guidance 2.75. Wall Street estimated 5.4 billion. So they're missing guidelines by 50% on earnings per share and revenues. Global demand collapsing, inflation to follow suit. This is so interesting, bro. All right, I want to go back to Webull because I want to see this market. I want to see what deals we have here. I want to see some of this stuff. Apple 150, yes, baby. Fall below one. Get Apple at 129. I've been reading a lot about Apple. I yesterday I went down a rabbit hole trying to understand what their valuation should be. They're growing at 5% year over year, and they have a PE of 25 or a forward PE of 25, which means they have a peg of 5, which is a little expensive. There's counter arguments to that, but it's a bit expensive. DNA is likely going to be purchased by me very, very soon. S&P at 384. Google at 101. Morning, you talk about the Palantir lawsuit yet? Yeah, Quarantine Quartet, there's nothing there. So he actually sent me this. Some guy is suing Palantir in a class action lawsuit for the share price dropping from November 2021 to May 2022. People do this all the time. The guy's just salty that his stocks crashed. Also, there was a macro economic downfall, so it's not Palantir's fault that their stock crashed. So I don't think they would see that. Peg under 1 is considered cheap. Yeah, I agree, Josh. Fed still has to unwind their balance sheet, and we have the China. Look at this. We still have the Russia-Ukraine oil craziness going on. Fed has to still do quantitative tightening at $90 billion a month. Interest rates are still going high, and we're still dealing with inflation. And then we have China that's probably going to invade Taiwan. Class action lawsuits are a complete waste of time. Let's not spend time on it ever. Yeah, it is absolutely, it's just so dumb. You'll be punching yourself in the nutsack for not buying more Tesla at these levels. Joel, at 296, I'm not punching my nuts at all. And now I might be punching myself for not buying Facebook at 147. Like, for a second, I thought I saw Nvidia, and then I saw Meta, and then I saw 126, and I was like, is Meta 126? Like, look at this. All Meta's market cap falls under 400 billion. Oh my. Oh my. This is wild. Wild. Twitter, how is Twitter keeping up, bro? I don't get how Twitter keeps up with those. Like, everything else is falling, but Twitter's fine. Coinbase 74. Oh man. All right, let's see what the talking heads are talking about, because obviously pre-market was a bloodbath. So let's see what they were saying. The FedEx stuff is probably really interesting. We want to look towards that. But oh my. Let's look at this one. Let's look at Apple. Okay. Also, by the way, the iPhone 14 is opening today. So for those who care about the iPhone 14, it's live today. People can buy it. Google almost at 100. Yes. What? Matt, what are you buying today, bro? I know you're buying something, because these prices are crazy today.
Just talk very quickly about the scene there. This has been something for years where people would line up, stay overnight, try and get their hands on these things. I know it's still a really big deal in China. How about here in New York?
Yeah, Becky, and as you said, Tim Cook did just walk in. I'm expecting him to come out right when the doors open at 8 and welcome all these people who are standing in line. Believe it or not, here we are all these years after the original iPhone. People do stand in line. There's a line actually around the block right behind me. You can't see it in this shot. And people have been waiting here for the last few hours, not necessarily overnight. I talked to one couple from Brazil who they're actually here to pick up an Apple Watch, not the new iPhone. They're here to get the new watch before they head back to Brazil on Sunday. And then as far as what this means and the sales mix and so forth, what we're looking for is the mix of Pros versus the regular iPhone. The early sales data we've gotten, Becky, has shown that the Pros are actually selling better, which is great for the average selling price that Apple gives. And remember that last earnings, Tim Cook had said, we're going to see modest revenue growth in this quarter. And that's kind of explains why they're releasing this phone a week earlier. They're going to get that extra week of sales to round out this quarter and their fiscal year back.
So Apple was so worried that they weren't going to be able to sell this thing that they gave themselves an extra week to sell this thing. An extra week is a lot of time if you're having a global product launching. So, I mean, that lets you know kind of what's going on, but the market does not care about this iPhone at all.
Hey, Steve, the higher selling price for the Pro is a big deal. Do they also have higher margins, though? I'd heard that the margins aren't necessarily higher.
Yeah, that's right, Becky. So they are raising prices to kind of offset that a little bit in other countries where the dollar is extra strong. So the UK is seeing higher prices. But yeah, that was a surprise last week when I was out in Cupertino. Everyone was expecting them to protect their margins, raise prices. And this is a signal that, look, as we're heading into a recession, we heard what the FedEx CEO said yesterday. Instead of rattling people by raising prices here in the US, they're keeping it at the same level that it's been the last couple years. So whether or not they can keep those margins as high as they have been, we're going to find out in about a month when they report earnings.
Sarah, there are so many more questions today, even more than there were yesterday at this point, after we've heard from FedEx and their concerns about the slowing economy around the globe. What does that portend for Apple? Is the iPhone immune from some of those issues, or are they going to feel the pinch too?
I think that Apple is not going to be immune. I think that we're in an environment where, they make such great hardware that you don't necessarily need their new hardware, right? People don't need new phones right now. There's not enough innovation, I don't think, in this 14 to justify it if you're looking at your budget, which most people are right now. And so I think that, they were right to say in advance, hey, this is not going to be a doorbuster, release, but they hope to get some newness and to keep the.
All right, so Apple's struggling. I'm buying some stocks. I had 245 left in my Robinhood. I am buying 2.4 shares of Google. Let's get the job done. Let's get Google at some nice 52-week lows. I know it's just 2 shares, but we got to start a position in there. We finally got some Google. So post split 101 times 20. I'm getting Google at $2,020. So I think it got down to 9. No, that's the lowest, right? Yeah, that's the lowest. It never got down below 2,000. It never got to the 1900s. I'm literally getting it at the 52-week low. 52 low is 194. Okay, so literally I'm like $1 away from the absolute 52-week low. Okay, we got some Google. That's nice. Not bad. Not bad at all. We got a little bit of Google. So now the portfolio is SoFi, Google, Tesla, Palantir, Purple Biotech. Crazy biotech, super high growth tech company, 1 share of Tesla, SoFi, and Google. No, Chris, I'm not buying TQQQ. Also, Chris, do you still have a position in this? I know Sean had a very big position in TQQQ at the average of like 25. I wonder if he still has that because it was at 35 and he didn't sell. But I'm waiting for 75 Google. You know, it might end up going to 75, to be honest, if things really collapse. I always start with at least a 1K position as I won't get it. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be built. I just literally had 240 left in my Robinhood, so I was like, let me do it. But I like to have like at least 2.5K positions like in the first couple of weeks of starting it. But I haven't loaded that up for SoFi because I still think SoFi has some room to fall. Tesla, I just bought the share of Tesla because I was like, let's just buy the share of Tesla just to buy it. But it's there. That position has to be built out. Apple is shit, but some of their products do not have a feasible competitor. Apple Watch and iPad mainly, and since M1 chips, it's very hard not to go to Mac. Other products can be substituted. Yeah. You know, I was a Mac guy for a while, and then I realized I opened up 5 tabs, and the freaking thing starts overheating, and then I was like, I'm not an Apple fanboy anymore. But I love the iPhone, obviously. 1K shares or dollar value? For me, it would be dollar value. I think Blake was talking about dollar value, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's talking about shares. I sold calls against it. Okay. Gotcha. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Okay, let's talk about the Fed tightening into a slower economy.
You don't see FedEx usually move in 20% up or down on any given time. I guess down's more like I don't know what would move it up 20%, but down 20% is, you have to say something pretty dire to have that happen, I think, Steph.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, Joe, it's macro and micro, right? And I think we're all nervous about the macro. We've been talking about the economic data all week long has really been disappointing, right? You talked about the CPI, but PPI, retail sales, ex-auto is now down 2 months in a row. Industrial production missed. So at the same time, the inflation story is so hot and the job market remains strong. So the Fed is now being more hawkish and they're tightening into a slowing economy. And FedEx just reinforced that.
And slowing is a word that could be, you know, we need to know exactly what slowing means. Yesterday we had, Barry Sternlicht on. He's a real estate guy. So obviously, when mortgage rates double and you start to forecast what that could do to consumers, I can see why he was bearish. He was more bearish than a lot of people. Is slowing now capitalized? Because if we have really hot inflation with a rapidly slowing economy, the hard landing scenario comes back on the table in a big way. Is that what's happening here? 6% mortgage rates, is it going to do it?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, rates are going higher. They're going to be hawkish. Is it 4% Fed funds? Is it 5% Fed funds? We don't really know. But the point of it is that rates are going higher. And the problem, Joe, is that we're not going to feel it for another 9 months because there's a lag impact. So I don't necessarily think we're so much in a recession right now. We're definitely slowing. Absolutely. No question about it. But I think 2023 is more likely a recession, just given that lag impact. When you look at the CPI number, I mean, if you didn't have gasoline down 10% month over month, that number would have been closer. CPI overall would have been closer to 10%. I mean, they're just going to have to be hawkish and they're going to have to raise. And that's the life we're living in right at this very moment. But it's a challenging time. We're already down 17% year to date on the S&P. The market is a forward-looking mechanism. So let's just stay calm, stay diversified, look for opportunities. FedEx is not one that I would be buying here because they have some, as I mentioned, some micro problems as well, some internal problems as well. Their express business, it's 50% of total revenue, and they missed EBIT and revenue by 500 million, and their costs were way higher than expected. So that one, I don't think I want to be.
They missed EBITDA and revenue by 500 million. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. So let's get back into the market. Joel said that video I shared with you didn't tickle your fancy. Not enough to buy it at the top, bro. Like, not enough to buy it. Tesla still hasn't even fallen. Like, I love Google now because I'm getting it at such a juicy price. Okay, so let's see what's going on. This is a red day. Apple below 150. We finally got Apple below at 150. Adobe, look at this bad boy, below 300. Palantir 772. Palantir could fall a little bit more, so that's not the most exciting yet. DNA. Okay, we're gonna start our DNA position. I just transferred $1,000 into my account. Let's start the DNA position. Let's start the DNA position. Let's do that. So where's DNA? We got this here. 295. We're gonna start with, how many shares are we gonna buy? Let's buy 100 shares of DNA at 294. There it is. Boom. It's done. 100 shares of DNA. Of course, Robinhood gives it to me at 295 because these motherfuckers got to always do their thing. All right. We got some DNA. And then we're going to buy another 2 shares of Google as well. Okay. So we might as well just make it 3. So we'll have 5 shares. Okay. 3. There's Google. Google has been bought. All right, here we go. So we started a DNA position. We got Google. Joel's saying it's too much diversity. It's 5 stocks. There's not. This is a portfolio. Like, I don't want to look. 5 stocks is not that much diversity in my opinion. If it was like 30, I was like, yeah, buy an ETF. But 5 stocks that you could build up to like a $10,000 position each. That's not. And also, Palantir is a 40K position for me. My biotech's like a 20K position for me. So 2 positions already built out completely. Now I have to build out the next 3 positions. That's kind of what we're doing here. All right, I'm doing some buying today. I like it. I'm buying. I like it. What's everyone's obsession with DNA? I will do a lot more videos on them. That content is coming. I also want some dividend stocks, bro. Like, I kind of want some divvies. Coinbase 74. Wow, I'm happy I got Google where I got it. I like that. Now I think Google could still get screwed, but I like at least starting my DCA at 101. That's not crazy to me. Meta is the next one on the list. To buy. I think this recession is going to make a lot of people really rich. The question is which stocks and which ones are going to like Palantir. If it goes like $4, it's going to make a lot of. Remember, Palantir was at 6 or below 6, and it went up to like 10. So it already went up 100%, right? Or 80% within the course of 3 weeks. People are going to make some money on some major swing trades here. The question is just if it's going to happen. Okay, let's see the FedEx CEO talk about a recession.
About a reduction your next quarter in what I thought you were going to make versus what you're making.
Well,
it says to me, don't buy back shares.
Well,
don't buy back shares.
Yeah, we are reviewing all our cost actions right now. We're reducing our capex quite significantly this year. And we think it's allocation of capital. This is a good use of our capital.
But 548 was the estimate for second. You're going to think you're come in at 275.
Well,
I mean that's got to be more than just Asia service.
No, we are seeing that the volume decline in every segment around the world, and so we just started our second quarter. The weekly numbers are not looking so good. So we just we just assume at this point that the economic conditions are not going to be good, but it basically allows us then to fully, go into cost management mode and take those actions that we can then, restructure FedEx in a different way.
Rosh, are we going to a worldwide recession?
Well, I'm not an economist, but you know,
Oh, you know more than economists. Come on, they don't. They just push papers. You actually look at papers.
well, I think so.
You think we are going to a recession?
I think so. But you know, again, these numbers don't portend very well.
U.S. in the last few weeks as bad as China in the last few weeks.
Yeah, the U.S. Consumer has definitely spending less, but the U.S. has been somewhat insulated because the U.S. dollar is is the currency of choice for the world, and there's some insulation there. But I do see the U.S. is slowing down too.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow at
Swap now, high mid. If Google goes under 100, you will buy today. I've already purchased, initiated my position on Google. If it goes under 100, I'll just buy more. We'll just do it that way. We will do that. Just bought more PayPal and Goog. Okay. Trust me, Amit, you don't want dividend stocks. When a company starts paying a dividend, the company is dying. That's not necessarily the case, Joel. A company paying a dividend doesn't mean they're dying. It just means they don't have accelerated growth. Like if Netflix started paying a dividend, that doesn't mean they're dying. They're just not growing like crazy. It's just, you get to hold it and you get a little bit of return for your money. Doesn't Apple pay a dividend? I know it's a small dividend, but Apple pays a dividend. Hello from England. I've been watching your videos for a few months and I like your style. Keep up the good work. Dale, I appreciate you. It means the world to me. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so let's go back into the markets. I just gave myself a British accent somehow. And let's see. Oh, Google's at 102. I got all my shares at 101. I am literally a genius. I don't know what to tell you guys. Robinhood at 10. Why is Robinhood at $10, bro? Robinhood's earnings were so bad. Like, this is a company that literally they make money off people trading, and no one can trade because no one has any money in their accounts because their clients don't have huge positions. Like, they're just random kids like me. So Robinhood's that's why Kathy probably hasn't been buying a lot of it. Let's go to Zoom. $78. Zoom. Remember, when we do have the bull market and this all comes roaring back, it's going to be incredibly. I mean, some of these stocks are just going to moon, bro. They're just going to go up like crazy. And so, but this is the time to begin building the positions and seeing it. Nvidia pays a dividend too, no growth. Yeah, exactly, right? So, good morning, crew. Mark, what's up? Hey, friend, any opinion on Activision? So the deal, like, I know you're probably asking about the arbitrage. Warren Buffett obviously believes it's going to go through. Look, if Buffett believes it's going to go through, that's an indicator that like it makes sense. It's just a question of why is it taking so long for regulators? But at the end of the day, I don't think regulators are going to literally be like, yeah, we're not letting this happen. I think that's a little too far. But I don't know. That's I guess we'll see. Dude, you're the still one using it. But that's my point. I'm using Robinhood and I know why I'm using it. Most of the world, like they're not going to make substantial levels of profit off people like me using it, Mark says we're not analogous to the late 70s. We're close to the early 60s. Expect long inflation periods due to deglobalization, money printing, and populist measures. Good luck, all. I don't know if we're going to have long inflation because of those things. I do think deglobalization is happening. I do think the Fed is going to be incredibly hawkish on inflation and eventually will go down, especially because we're seeing raw commodities, as per Cathie Wood and Elon Musk, really insinuating that a lot of them have come down. And I'm going to show some examples of that in a second. But I do think that the deglobalization poses a risk towards more instability. And that's kind of the issue. Palantir lawsuit. There's a class action lawsuit. It's not something I would pay attention to at all. It's just angry people suing a company because their prices are low. So this is what Kathy said, right? To get the understanding of how she thinks about inflation. Lumber is down 60%, copper is down 35%, oil 35%, iron ore 60%, dram 46%, corn 17%, Baltic freight rate 79%. This is for like shipping, gold 17%, and silver 39%. So these are the numbers that are giving her from post-COVID price peaks an indicator that we have peaked on inflation. Now, when that happens, the we're gonna see what that happens. But you know, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Okay, Jeremy, rep the TTCF while you're at it. But see, that's the argument, right? And it's like, so if inflation does begin to peak and all those things start to fall, like the stock market's going to moon. It's just a question of if that actually happened. We thought inflation would have peaked and we would have got 7.9 this month, and that didn't happen, right? So we didn't moon. It's that simple. All right, yeah, nothing else that crazy. There's no crazy news going on. Pinterest 24, Wejo $1, Google 101, Meta 147, TDoc at 30, going below 29. Wow, Nvidia's nicely below 130. Let me look them up here. Overall, a pretty bloody Friday because it is Friday. Also, stocks tend to sell off on Friday, which I think is it's always good to buy on Fridays because the reason for this, I heard, is that the instability of geopolitical or macro level sociological events that could happen over the weekend that could then play a bad, like let's say someone dies over the weekend that's super important, and then on Monday the economy crashes. Like you don't want to have your money in the economy on a Monday if you can't control it on a Saturday, Sunday. So a lot of people just sell on Friday and then they wait to re-enter on a Monday. Obviously, if you're a long-term holder, that doesn't really apply, but you know, that's what it is. So that's pretty much it. Let's do one last check of a couple of courses. Let's look at the S&P. Let's look at the indexes. So let's go to NASDAQ. NASDAQ at 11,000, so we're down 200 points on the day. Okay, and then let's look at SPY. 382. We are at the low on the SPY. All right, we're ending it out. We're ending it out. If you think of particular individuals, death will crash the markets, I bet that when that exact person does, the markets go up. I don't want to put out any names out there, but I think there's some obvious answers that if certain people die, business leaders, then, you know, the market's not going to do well per se, or, you know, it wouldn't be the best, I think, for the markets or certain stocks in the markets, right? So, okay. Thank you guys, everybody. I'll see you on the market close. We're ending up the week. I hope everyone has had a good week. Friday. I got a lot of work to do, but excited to end out the entire week. So appreciate all 160 of you being here. Check out the app in the description. It would mean the world to me if you guys sign up for my startup and give me some feedback on it. See you guys in the market close. Bye-bye, everybody.